Okay, hallelujah. I'm gonna do the part two now with this. All right, let me change the name here. And I'm not gonna go too much longer, but I'm gonna really put this into perspective of why this scripture is so that dangerous that they don't want people to understand it because it exposes those who keep wanting to preach lies. All right, so we're gonna go back to it. All praises. All right, so now Filippo, who also was a Banabetu. He had nothing to do with anything with Esau or nothing. Okay. He speaks on the concept of materialism. This is why this scripture cannot be here when you're having a world that's based off of personal gain, like material wealth, people who are making money off of whatever they're selling and buying. This scripture is going to destroy everything because now everything you do is for the opposite of how it should work. Okay. That's why everybody's looking for the inheritance from the one who doesn't even own anything, doesn't have the authority. And you're going to be embarrassed trying to go to the Father. Well, where's my portion? He's like, I don't know you. Your God is Helios. Okay. A material person does not die because he or she was never living in order to die. So that's where you have the people who are living with a that are living in a desert inside. And what I mean desert, it means you're not getting the bread from the heavens and the manna being fed to you. You're getting garbage. You're getting the eagle that's junk. So you're not turned on. So you're not, especially people who have the law written inside of them, you're not turned on to get fed by the eagle who has the pure bread. You're getting fed by the eagle with all the junk. And that's why you said, if I'm focused more on the eagle with the junk and I don't rebuke that, I don't get rid of her, I don't get rid of this junk, then I'm not going to know. I'm going to be corrupted. This is the corruption. Okay. This is what people want. They want you filled with garbage thinking you're walking in truth when you don't have nothing close. All right. And that's why they did music and entertainment and education. Everything is to fill you up with garbage, but then tell you you're not filled with garbage when you are. Okay. So one who trusts in the truth will live. That means you don't trust in anybody who's teaching garbage. You trust in only those who are removing the garbage or getting you back out of the lies, or putting you back where you belong in a position. That's why the world that you're living in, and this is their rush that they're trying to do, they're trying to make every woman with the 12 charge all full of garbage so that when the kingdom shows up, he will find nothing but garbage and he won't be able to clean anything. But see, that's the problem. Because he has all authority and they never learned, just like what happened with Leah Magdala, she herself was contaminated with garbage. And what did he do? He removed it. And he said, now she's holy again. Oh, but we want you to go back to the garbage. But see, to force somebody to do it is not the same as doing it free will. So they say, no, we're going to get your consent. How can you give me consent? How can I consent when you don't even have the authority to put me in hell? See, because you're going to people who claim they have the authority to put you in heaven and hell, and they don't have it because they're not walking with the Messiah who has the authority to do that. That's why you're already in Heliopolis and you don't even see it. Okay. Those who created the material world, who constructed the cities, they carry the dead forward. So you're going to see that's why the Most High got to purge, because every city around this world that's operating in trade and commerce and making money and making deals and everything, they are operating under a dead system. He's like, this is not mine, so I'm going to get rid of it. And see, the wealthy people, the wealthy families who are involved in this, they know this, but they're convinced that they will never be, their seven will never end. Okay, yeah. That's what he wants them to think. Keep thinking it's never going to end. Because see, the problem is the collateral is being used from those who come from the one who's not dead. Okay, so they need that. You see what I'm saying? Once we became devoted, we became orphans, have only one our spirit. But the follower of the anointed one, the creator will come to our spirit for us. So that's what I'm saying. The Most High will come to you when you want to love the truth. But what they want you to do is to repel him back because if you believe lies, he's not going to be there. It's like, no, if you are a liar or a teacher of liars, then you are repelling the spirit away from you that is giving the truth, and you are embracing the spirit that's teaching lies. That's why we talk about the scriptures would say, if you follow a Messiah that we would not preach, you will go with him. Well, that's the problem. Today, you are convinced you're following the Messiah who was preached when you're following the Messiah that was not preached. And that is indeed the problem. And this system was switched back over the last 100 years, but they're not telling you this. Okay? Those who plant in the winter will harvest in the summer. Now, let me talk about this. If you plant, if you plant tares or fruit that is unclean or fruit that is garbage, what are you going to reap in the summer? You're going to reap garbage. It ain't going to be, the fruit's not going to be the way it should. You have to plant good fruit to get the good harvest. That's why the Most High says, when we planted our ground in the good soil, the harvest would be good. If you plant your ground in soil that is not good, you're gonna get, you're not gonna get nutrition. You're not gonna get the stuff that's good. You're gonna get, stuff that's not good for you. Okay? The winter is the material world. The summer is the other realm. So the point is, we have to plant good plea in the material world to get people to come out of it. The problem is they don't want you to do this, so you stay in the winter soldier's world. Yeah, that's the problem. Because we are because soda means soldier, and one of our ways to say soldier was soda, and basoda means army or musaladi, which is where Saladin got his name. That was a Banabetu word. Musaladi means army, but the Arab, they say, oh, it's Arabic. No, Ismaili did not come. Abana, Abraham was not speaking Arabic. No, he was not, and he was not speaking Kabiru. He was speaking Lingala Kikongo, and they know this. That's why Esau is a liar because he knows Labeka and Saka are both Bantu, but he's gonna say no, that's a lie. Okay. That's why he keep doing this. Okay. Through this, it is fitting for us not to have to pray in the winter. What emerges from the winter is in the summer. So now here's where they lied. The winter they're referring to is what we're heading to now in this false interpretation. Okay. When the winter you should have been planting should have been the southern interpretation and cycle. So now that's why when you're planting in this winter, you're getting garbage in the summer because you are participating in pagan rituals. So now when you're planting in December with the so-called Christmas and Hanukkah, and of course they all the religions have this Saturnalia worship. So now you're planting for Saturn, you're going to reap. This is why you keep having problems for every cycle, why every generation is getting worse. because of those who love the God of the plantation, who's a deception, versus the one who is trying to get you away from the false plantation. That's why the house Negro don't ever want to leave massa, no matter what he's going to tell you, even though you think you're free. No, because you're still going to the hypocrite to ask for your freedom. You just think you're not. You cannot go to the God of the house on fire and ask for freedom. No way. You got to go to the God who put the house on fire. When he says that Esau will be a stubble and be a flame, and he said that Cain will be destroyed. Okay, that's the problem. You cannot go to the God of the house on fire to ask for freedom. It's not going to happen that way. Okay, that's why you cannot trust the people who love the house on fire. They're going to keep you in it. And most times, like, okay, it's time for them to go now. They're going to burn up with it because it's about to be gone. Okay, though it is fitting for us to, okay, so let us plant in the material world so that we will harvest in the summer. Through this, it is fitting for us not to have to pray for in the winter, but emerges from the winter is the summer. If you simply harvest in the winter, you will not just he will not just harvest, but will uproot, and this kind will not produce fruit. So that's the whole point. You're not going to produce good fruit planting in Rome's harvest, planting season. When is Rome planting? In their pagan festivals. So now you're always going to get garbage out of that when it comes to how you interpret the scriptures. And they don't think they running around here like garbage and like, oh yeah, you are, because you planting tares. So the concept is with the secret societies, with the Jesuits, with all of these, with the imams, with the Chabad, with all these people who are teaching, they want you to plant tares and say, no, you're planting wheat. How can you when you're planting in the dead kingdom for the dead gods? Okay, you're not going to reap any harvest. This is why children are going to always be hypocrites. This is the goal. Everybody got to be like the hypocrite. That is the message. That's why you're running around in these cities and they're all dead energy. Okay, that's why you don't see. You're oblivious to the stuff that's in front of you. Okay, if you only, but not only will it not bloom, but in the next somebody, the somebody, it was never Sabbath. That was a word that was used by the Phoenicians. But somebody, his field will also be fruitless. And so, what do we mean by fruitless? A bunch of goats, okay, a bunch of tares, a bunch of weeds in the Father's vineyard. He's like, what are you planting here? You're planting junk. Because none of this stuff is glorifying me, it's glorifying the idiot. Okay? But see, a lot of people won't want to see it that way. No, we're not planting junk. We're planting the good fruit. If that was the case, then you don't have a world living in stupidity and ignorance, having to compete for everything when you should already have it. Because the world of the Luciferians has to compete and has to fight and has to, oh, yeah, let me, they got to beat each other up to get what they want. And got to go shed blood and got to go kill for everything. No, that's the whole concept. You are still in the game. See, even America, what happened here was a revenge of the Vikings coming back in the form of us. To now say we are Jacob. And they say, no, you're not. You're still a fraud. But that's why they had to go kill him because they're like, this ain't them. You the frauds. So they had to get rid of the evidence that they figured this out. The point is, there were many people on the world that said, no, we know who these people are. Y'all are frauds. Okay, kill them, kill them, kill them, kill them. No, we can't let them catch on. That's why all the killing went on during the whole process. The anointed God appeared indeed. Seeing he redeems others, he saves, and yet for others he forgives. Those who are lost be redeemed. He embraced them and he saved them, these who approached him. These he put as initiates of his will. See, the problem is you're becoming an initiate of the ones who rejected the stone, pretending to be the one who accepted the stone. It's like, no, they embracing the stone of lies, not the stone of truth. So the point is to embrace the truth. You will not fall for the idiots. You will question the idiots. That's why we were always in danger for those of us who said, wait a minute, this ain't right. Something is off. What is it? Okay? When we see that, it's like, oh no, you see the Wizard of Oz, you got to get rid of this person. No, he gonna catch on. He talking to the wizard. And it ain't about color, it's about spirit. Okay? You will never be fruitful following the jackass in the Father's eyes. You will always be fruitless. Sorry, this thing jumped in, kicked in, because it just finished that thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me get back. Hold on, let me stop the share. It finished downloading, so it jumped in, so it changed the screen. Yeah, you saw I had that picture up there. I wanted to get to that to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. When we look at this image, what many people don't know is this is what they really following, and they know it. This is what you're really praying to, and they understand this. The pig. And this is all symbolic in cartoons, uh, commercials. They know now the pig in clothes, they have known this, that you are talking to, and we'll get into, and let me get to the teaching about it. To go to the Latin. All right. So now I just translated what it says. It says, "En nome," the name Zeus means pig in Latin. There you go, your pig Latin. O porco, it was the banner for the Roman army. So now the banner for the Roman army you think is the one that was crucified on the cross, and like, nah, this is the lie because you're following the hypocrite. It's like, no. And see, Joshua that they now claim is Dutch, no, they once again stealing it. We are the ones who said Joshua before they made us change to all the different languages that they have. We are the ones that say yes, sirree, before they made us say no. Psh, 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 you got to say it like this. Okay, they whipped it into us. We know these names. And those who revolted are the ones that's why they wouldn't let us read, because we found our names in the Bible that we had to be changed because they could not sell us with the names that we had. It's illegal. You cannot sell somebody who has the name of the 12 tribes to anybody else who isn't from the 12 tribes. Then you're going to know, okay, these are the people we're supposed to go through. Why are we doing this to them? Okay? They're going to catch on, and that's what they don't want. Okay? So now, when we talk about the Roman pig god, okay, look at how it's spelled. Moccus. Yeah. What does that sound like? Congestion. How you get sick. Okay? And you see the person riding it, he ain't got no head. Oh, the headless horseman on the pig. Yeah, who is that? You just celebrated it. Oh, the headless. See, and the Celtic, they inherited this from the Roman culture. See, is attested in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd century AD, inscripted by the Languages, and is identified with the Roman god who? Mecury. Oh, he's mythology. Okay. This is the Wizard of Oz, the Emerald Tablets, Nergal, Nergal, and he was not white. No, etymology ground. And this is the one that had the stork head. Okay, this is why the Emerald City is emerald because you're talking to him. All right, and he is your Isus. Okay, because he's affiliated. Because if you go to the Egyptian, okay, it is the male god Set or Seth. Now, he is pretending to be uh he is pretending to be what we want to call, and I'll get to that. Let me delete this. And I'm gonna refresh it. I'm gonna flip it around. Let me see this if I can get it to do it. Yeah, see, it won't. Man, I hate when they do this. Let me get the capital one so I can get it. Because it's where you also get the word ensemble. Here and here. Like it's like the Most High is in here in Setu. So that's what the kingdom's right here in my intima. So now, if you have the heart following the hypocrite, calling himself the Messiah, that's why you will always do good and bad together and say there's nothing wrong with it. I'm saved. How can that be? The Most High don't do good and bad together ever. Okay? But now the hypnosis and the hallucination of those who are using divination, they're the ones convincing you, oh no, see, doing good and bad together, that's okay. That's the whole concept. When you worship stupidity, you will believe stupidity. You will think you know everything. So now you will look like a horse's ass to the one who does know everything. You will think you have the scriptures when you have the crumbs. You will think you know the truth when you're following lies. That is why it's really called the days of Noah, because that's exactly what happened. They didn't think that they were an idiot when they were. Okay? That's the problem. They didn't think they were a horse's ass when they were. See, the word till man, let me explain that, because I know people who have that name is Cain, because he is the man that had to till the ground. So now everybody is okay being a sacrificial lamb for till. Till comes from Cain, Caina. So then you got all the people doing fraternities, sorority, whatever. They're willing to use their own children as a sacrificial lamb in the concept of the Passover pre-Messiah, but then acting like they're with the Messiah. And that's why he said, you Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes, and hypocrites. Or you talk about those who say they know me and I don't know you, are those who still go and crucify him over and over, still using the sacrificial lamb of the Passover mentality, putting his name on it. But like he says, their lips are near me, but their hearts are far from me when you are worshiping a pagan god. You can still be nice, you can still be kind, and still be ignorant and foolish at the same time. You can still be Iblis. So it's like that's the Judas Code's problem. Many of these, that's why you got so many churches out here, because this is all turned into a competition. Whose pastor teach the best? Oh, whose church is better? It doesn't matter because you're all under a spell. Because the real Messiah, there is no competition. There is no competition. You cannot say you follow the King of Kings if you are a puppet to the Judas goats, to the Judas messiahs. Okay? And if it, and Setu could mean something else, it's just like how they translate it, you never know. It's like I said, the concept is He said, "You are now here to be the one to replace your brother." Because he was called to be the replacement shepherd of Abele, and no, he was not a modified leper. His skin was melanated because leprosy, and they're lying to you, is the absence of melanin. Okay? All right. Because that's what happened with the Canaanites. So now they're making you think it's great because of all the stuff they were doing. All right. And the Edomites, for that matter, and some of our own people. So now, what he's saying is, when he appeared, he not only assigned the soul as he wished. So here's what you got to understand: you cannot have a real soul from the one who does not have the authority. And that's why they put it in the mockery when they made it in the Planet of the Apes, when he says, "Is there a soul in there?" Mocking our Messiah, because Caesar Kuswa, because the point is, if he don't know you, he didn't assign you a soul. That's why he says, "No, and fumu well an answer." You're not going to talk to the real Messiah if you have now been given the soul of animals and not aware of it. Reptile, whatever you want to call yourself, if you have now been told to be, if you become like, that's what happened with Solomon. He turned into the animal, and that's why the whole kingdom was messed up. He turned into the beast. And the point is, you cannot teach the truth if you become fully in lock with the beast. The Most High said, "Oh, I know who cannot be marked with Cain and who can be." If you are not marked with Cain, then the Most High knows you. If you are marked with Cain, the Most High don't know you. So the goal is, if you are marked with Cain, you want to erase that mark and go to the person who isn't marked with Cain. That's what the whole purpose of when he said it is like, you must come to those who are not marked with Cain to receive the truth. The problem is, you think that you're not marked with Cain, and you are when you're accepting Cain as your Lord and Savior. And you think you're not. It's like, okay, all right. When he appeared, he is not only assigned the soul as he wished, he assigned the soul from the beginning of the world. So this is the point. The real Messiah says, "I know who is not marked with the beast and who is." Okay, that's why you got to be careful about the frauds out here who they themselves don't even know if they've been switched out or they've been changed. It's like he has assigned this before the world even began. That is why you got. That's why he said there will become many messiahs who say they are like me. But he says that I know my sheep. My sheep will say, "Bull crap! You ain't the guy." No, no, no. Even Tokwe and Kimbangu never said they replaced nobody. Okay? The minute you start talking about people want to put themselves on a pedestal and they themselves were involved with paganism practices, you need to be careful about who you're talking to and what you're talking about. The Most High will always hide you from those who want to devour you as long as you are allowing yourself to stay hidden. Okay? But then there are times when the Most High is like, no, they want you to come out so they can get you. It's like, no, the Most High said, "I know who has a role to play and who is meant to do what. I know my job. And I know the role I'm playing it, and it really hurts, but I'm telling you, it's going to pay off in the long run because I already know what's going on." Okay? It was put among the initiates. It appeared among the thieves, and they grabbed it. Yet he rescued it and forgave both the good and the wicked in the material world. You got to understand. Yeah, I got to talk to this sister. She's from Jamaica. She's talking about what's going on. I said, yeah, it's gonna. I told people this is gonna get bad because the Most High gave people time, and they said, screw. They said, okay, no, we're gonna keep following the pig god, and see, it's gonna keep getting worse. That's why I told people, oh yeah, this stuff that's gonna happen. It's Hunger Games now. Try to tell people that. Light and darkness, life and death, right and left, these are the brothers to each other. It is not possible for them to be separated from each other. Therefore, goodness is not good, nor is the wicked evil, nor is their life living, nor is death dead. Thus, the individual soul would be reconciled to the beginning of its origin. So that's the whole point. When you have the repentance, you're going back to how you should have been from the start. But what they want you to do is continue in your folly. And this is where many people are going to learn they're being bamboozled because no, if the Messiah puts you back to your origin, you're not going back, okay, like you think. Okay? This is when the Most High said, I chasten who I love, means He's going to keep putting you back to the origin, keep putting it back until finally, boom, oh, watch what happens. And that's why He's talking about the harvest. Many of us are starting to come out and shine and illuminate the truth. But the Most High has set people in places to make these people believe they have won the victory against Him when they're going to be exposed for the liars that they are. You are not winning any victory following the hypocrite. No way. That's why people are lost in the material world and they think it's a good thing. Why? Because you're following people who are not real. Okay? And you're going to see this. You keep following the people who are not real, you're going to discover where you are very soon. All right. Thus who are exalted above the material world are immortal and exist in eternity. So the point is, if you love the material world or the world that has now been presented to you, and that's the concept, if you love the God that promotes materialism, you are not of the Most High. This is the problem. Oh, I love my car. Oh, I love my house. Oh, I love it. Oh, see, I love my dad. He told me don't. But see, the point is, you don't love materialism, but then you don't be ignorant either. Because it's not about what you think, it's what the Most High thinks for everybody. If you may be thinking you're not offending Him when you are, and teaching your children to do the same, you may think that you're not passing your children over to fire MOLOCH, but that's the concept. It's not what you think. You may think, I'm not doing that. You're going to see, yes, you are. Because if you're believing lies, if you believe lies, you're passing your children through the fire. Okay? The concept is you cannot have any affiliation with any lies. Okay? In order to defeat the material world. Okay? The names given by materialism cause great confusion. That's why you live in the land of confusion worldwide. Because the people who know that they are running a materialistic system, they are telling you what to call things. And it's all false. That's why the names of blasphemy are keeping you, messed up. For their hearts have turned away from the reality to illusion. And this is the matrix we're talking about. You're going to be living in the land of illusion, make believe, the land of nada, if you have turned away from what is the real reality of the Father, what He does not see versus what He sees. If the Father don't see it, you're under the illusion. If the Father sees it, you're in the reality. And this is the concept you got to understand. What does the Father, the true God of creation, that's why you now people talking about, oh, get back to the Divine Mother. Once again, Egyptians, same garbage, because that's who ISIS is first. ISIS is first in Egyptianology. Let it go. Get your butt out of Kemet. Because if you keep putting her up there, she's a wicked harlot, you're going to burn with the rest of them. Quit letting her mess you up. She was created by Tatanyambe, and now she wants everybody to burn with her. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay? She ran away. Now she got everybody believing her son is the best, and he has no authority whatsoever. Christians out talking about, I have the authority. If you have the authority, then you're not going to be fooled. Okay? You're not going to believe lies. Oh, I'm not being lied to. Whatever. Okay. That's the whole point about the days of Noah. Furthermore, they have learned about the reality of death. They are in, see, like it says, God, okay, and when they hear God or they don't consider reality. It's like, no, that's why you're hearing the fake God talking to you. Rather illusion. This also goes for references to the Creator and the servant and the Holy Spirit and light and the resurrection and the summit. They don't consider reality, but rather illusion. Furthermore, they have learned about the reality of death. They are in the material world. If they were in the eternal world, they wouldn't have assigned anything as materialistically wicked. That's why you had all these people running around celebrating the God of the dead. That's why you now have Catholics doing, oh, all Saints Day. And this is why you got Christians like, oh, yeah, we know. No, you do not. You are calling things wicked that are good and calling things that are good wicked. Okay, you're going to find out the hard way. All right. Nor will they have to put into material. Their destiny is within the eternal world. It's like the Most High said, let them be. This is the time when we tell people, hey, we can still have interactions to be nice. Let the Egyptians stay in Egypt. And let the Banabetu who want to stay in Egypt, let them stay there. They will now suffer all of the destruction that comes with Egypt. There's nothing you can do about it. If they want to love Egypt, then let them be destroyed with Egypt. Okay, if they don't think they're in Egypt, that's not your problem. Okay, let it be. That's what it means when it says, let them stay ignorant. If they want to love the Egyptian gods and think that they're going to bring them salvation, then let it be. You have to be focused on the world that is above the people who love these Egyptian gods. Mesopotamian, whatever they're called, whatever they want to call themselves. They even try to call themselves the Most High. We got to be careful with people. Yeah, the Bantu. Yeah, there's still Bantus worshiping demons, people. You don't know. And putting the Most High on it. One single name did not speak in the material world. The name of the Creator gave to himself to the devoted servant. That's why the name Congo is a problem. That's why they changed it to a C. Okay? No, they don't want to spell it. Why do you think even the person that want to call himself, he don't even say it? Because only the Messiah, he don't even call himself by this because only the one who was never a hypocrite can say, I am truly Bakongo. I am truly Benazambi, Benazoe. That's why people don't even know who he is. They say Kong. They don't put the O on the end. Why do you think they did that? They're kind of following the rules of our thing about dropping a letter. It's like, no, okay. I even called the hypocrite that name. He said, don't call me that. Yeah. Let them be with Yamich or whoever, whatever his name he called himself. Okay. Those who don't want it, that he will use he will use it to take you back to the hypocrite. But he will not call himself this because he can't. There is no truth in him. Okay? Only the one who has the truth can say, I am truly Makongo. The Congo is this. That's why they said Yusuf was a Mukongo. Blasphemy. But the blasphemer will still blaspheme the Most High's name. That's what he does. He's going to blaspheme it. because he's not worthy of the truth when he's going to continue to use you for his own benefit. It's not for his benefit, it's for the Most High's benefit and for you to increase, not to be robbed of your energy. Your energy will increase when you follow the ones whose way was never what? Questioned, never wrong, never had one thing say, I did any crime against the Father. All right. The one is the truth alone. From this comes the multitude in regard to us who teach this. That's why we got to tell people, you not following the way of the Most High, following any cycle that contradicts his way. And at the same time, you cannot sell it. If I have the kingdom inside of me already, why am I buying it? If I have the truth inside of me already, why do I need to purchase it? Your job is to open it up. But see, that's where the jealousy comes in. That's where the sorcerer plays his role and his divination. That's where the hypocrite starts to act like he ain't a hypocrite, because the concept is the bread belongs to the one who never made the Most High angry. So now that's what needs to be here. If you put the one that made the Most High angry here, now you will go with him. Like it says, you go with anybody who made the Most High angry. That's why I said, don't put me in your heart. Put the one who never made the Most High angry in your heart. And that's what I said. Then you will learn to continue to increase your understanding. That's why every day they want me to keep the one. It's like, no, I want to focus on the one who wants to be the one who never messed up. But that's why all the divination is being done. No, no, don't follow that sheep, that shepherd. The Most High said, I'm going to embarrass you. Because it was meant to look that way. The overseers wish to deceive humans because they saw that they are related to those who are good and belong to the truth. That is what we're talking about with this reptilian overlord crap. And they think we ain't going nowhere. Yeah, when the Most High Kingdom come down here, they're going to get blasted. Oh, yeah. The Maliki Kong are going to take them all out. Okay? They think they ain't going nowhere. They're like, oh, you keep thinking that. The overseers are those who think they have all the time. They're going to keep going the way it's going. And it's the same thing. Like, boom, out of nowhere. Oh, man, what happened? Okay, that's how it works. The one who's the master will embarrass those who are not the masters. They don't own anything running a shell corporation. No. Okay? They took the name of those who are good and gave it to those who are not good, so that those names they will have deceived him, and they bound him with those who are not good. Then afterwards, whenever they heard mercy on them, they caused them to withdraw from those who are not good, and them they put them with those who are good. They recognize themselves. See, like I told you, when you put your back with those who are good, you're going to recognize yourself. Okay, you're going to see yourself. If you follow in the hypocrite, you're not going to see you're not going to see yourself. Never. They wished for them to be free, they would keep themselves as a servant of life. So to be free means you work for the non-hypocrite Messiah and the non-hypocrite creator. But now, when you try to put yourself in his position as the high priest, good luck. Because it's like, no, you cannot replace the one who was not a hypocrite. You can only do things to help people come to him. You cannot replace the high priest who never did anything that caused the Father to be angry. This is what they want you to do when you're controlled by these shepherds who are Judas goats. And calling them and bringing people, I'm tell you, it's a setup. All right, so I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna do a song. Uh, I'm gonna actually do a sing. I'm gonna sing. But again, this is where we're going to now. The Messiah's like, I'm getting rid of all of the Judas goats, and now you will only have those who are not going to harm the sheep. And they think it ain't going to happen. And oh, yes, it is. Because once he denies access, once the Most High denies access to what they want to call collateral, they're all going to go broke because they need to make money off of those who are from the kingdom of life. And they have been lying about it. Okay. If they now they're not going to be able to continue to make money off of those who are from the kingdom of life. And what that's going to do is destroy the entire system that's running off of it. That's what it means by remove the restrainer. Okay, when he removes the spirit that's not a hypocrite, everything crashes. Then you're gonna see who's who out here. Zambi seto kozulu utuva ensambua tomakutu kumikanga utukwisa zia. Zambitata talangampe setizele mbubuau ubatemo wesakaka wa isa. And you see the name, the twin brother of the evil twin, his Toma is right there in that sentence. Fumuyisu utufila munenzile zuluau utulakis okowina kokoya quincy zambitata talangampe setizele mbubuau ubatemo wesakaka isa. Nkumu ntani yetu yawe kembilango wao konso oyo okwikyaka okonvulunza zambitata talangampe setizele mbubu wao ubatemo wesakaka isa. Mwananzambi velelesa anensafuka yobi ngolo saku izivava munentima miam zambi tata talangampe setizele mbubu wau ubatemo wesakaka isa. Zambitata talangampe setizele mbubu wau ubatemo wesakaka isa. Let me see if I can get this word, Toma. They say Thomas, but his name means something. Let me see if I can get it to. It means, if I remember, I did kind of catch it. It says it most commonly means a twin, but it also can mean uh, like to take. See, toma in Spanish as a verb means to take. Toma, they know they got this from us to receive. Yeah, toma means to give me the bread. Okay, so they know that. They didn't come from Latin. They came from Kikongo people. So toma. Let me see if I can do the translation. Let me see the whole word. to encourage us. See? To bring it to encourage us. Okay? Try to encourage. So it says to bring courage, to bring encouragement. That's the whole concept is you want people to bring encouragement, but at the same time, you should also be what? You should already have understanding of the kingdom of truth to where you increase to be like Messiah. Okay? To be Christ-like means I walk in a way that I don't need to always worry about going to a shepherd to answer my questions because the Holy Spirit will reveal these things to you, how you need to live, what your problems are, what's causing the issue, how to deal with it. And you don't have to prove it to anybody. But see, you're going to always want that person who's still in your power in front of you if they are teaching you to also continue to do paganism practices of the ancient ways, of especially of Babylonian stuff. Tom, I'm telling you, people are going to find out many of these people are still, they made it into you walking in circles again, but they made it look nice. I'm like, no, anybody who's teaching you the truth will not keep you walking in the circle. You will now walk in truth or have you wandering and don't know where you're going in the spiritual realm. You see, all praises. Zola Klingi and Sam Lolo is in a ways of Yabli Kongo Kutwala. And like I said, you want to be in a position to be boasted of the Most High in what you are doing, but they want you to be ashamed, him to be ashamed. The goal is to be in truth and be and restored is that when the Father sees you, oh, this person is really helping my sheep return to their way. Yeah, I want that. He see all these imposters out here twisting the truth for their own benefit or being used as a Judas goat, whether they know it or not, to manipulate the truth for those who are not walking in truth. They are being paid. Watch where their paycheck comes from, where the money comes from, is always going to come from the one who's walking in hypocrisy, not the one who isn't. But the Most High can also give it to you when you help his children come out of hypocrisy. That's what he means by blessing. But then they want to say, but then if you bring them back to the moment, then you're going to bless and curse yourself at the same time. It's like you're going to give it, then you got to give it back. Then you're going to give it, then you got to give it back. That's what you don't want. You want him to keep giving it to you without giving it back. You see? And that's where people are being played. And now the Most High says, I'm going to take these people out now. I'm done with these people who are saying, I'm giving it to you, then I'm giving it back. No, we're not doing that no more. It's over anymore. All praises, Zola Queen anymore, I should say. Zola Queen Sambalon is a way y'all become Twala Ingeta.